I come from Oregon and very interested in the woody biomass. We're experimenting with other alternative canola and other, more conventional, if you will, alternatives to corn and biofuels. But I'm interested in the woody biomass in particular and, the advance. So while a lot of the questions, I know some of the answers will be similar, but how in particular can we help, or what are the first steps for making woody biomass? And by that I mean particularly the forest woody biomass. Over 50% of my state is federal forest. I'd like to use that to advantage.
If I may take a crack at that, Mr. Schrader, with a stroke of the pen, Congress could alter the definition of eligible woody biomass, which, as you'll recall, in the Energy Independence and Security Act, something like 24% of the available biomass was ruled ineligible for conversion to cellulosic biofuel. And I think we have come to recognize that needs to be changed in order to open up the kinds of feedstocks that you're talking about. We see tremendous potential for the conversion of woody biomass, pulp and paper mills, residues. We can make our remaining paper industry and lumber industry more viable by enabling them to produce co-products. So I would say that is probably the most important thing you can do. I think the technology would come along to meet that need fairly quickly.
Very good. Brazil's been very successful in promoting, ethanol and biodiesel production. What have they done that's so different? Why is their circumstance? I'm not talking about the current economic crisis we're facing, but what's been their approach, and why have they gone that route and we have not?
Well, I think they, of course, got started much sooner than we have. They've also made their automobiles so they can all use ethanol. I mean, they made that decision a long time ago. They can burn all levels of ethanol. They've got compatibility with their automotive fleet, and that's probably the biggest difference.
Go a different route than some of the other members here. I also have some small independent gasoline dealers in my district, and there's a lot of concern, and there was a point at which they had trouble getting ethanol this past winter. Some of the larger brand name oil companies are, frankly, hoarding it to make sure that their stations had opportunity. So how do I juxtapose that against the discussion that there's plenty of ethanol out there, barring, again, this crisis and stuff? How do we make sure the independents are guaranteed access to ethanol at 5, 10, 15, 20, pick a number blend?
Over time, we need to develop the infrastructure. We need to disabuse ourselves of the falsehood that ethanol can't be moved by pipeline. It can, it is. It's just that we're not doing it yet. In fact, it has started in Florida. So pipeline infrastructure development, we need to maintain a good rail network, obviously. But I think what we're talking about is not a shortage of production capacity. It really is distribution bottlenecks that have created those problems.
Last quick question, and I don't know if you can answer it. I'd be curious, different members of the panel, what's the price point for oil or barrel oil or gallon of gas where it becomes optimum for investment in biofuel, biodiesel technology? And
well, I'm not sure there's one price point that you can point to, because you've got crude oil, you've got corn price, you've got all these input that go into. So I don't know that you could come up with
what's the range? I guess I'll refine.
Oh boy, I don't know if I. I think if we were at today's corn price, probably $60 to $70 oil, we probably could be pretty competitive. But I really hesitate to throw too many numbers around here because it's a moving target.
I think one important idea to throw in here is the long-term replacement cost for oil is probably in the range of $70. When prices went below 70, we saw oil companies, state-owned oil companies, and private developers worldwide start to pull back on development. So we are no longer replacing the oil that we are using up. So if oil, remember last year when oil was $80, $100 and rising, and there was polling of American consumers, would you be willing to live with a oil price that doesn't go below 70 if that provides the assurance for a renewable fuels industry to take root and develop? A lot of Americans, I think, at that time would have been very happy to say, I'll sign up for $70 if I know, that's my hedge. Now that oil, went down to 36 to 40, where's that commitment? That's what we need.
Thank you.